So in the past 2 weeks, I've decluttered 15 fragrances. Yes, so I'm going to get into that today. I'm going to tell you all about the fragrances I decluttered and why. But before I do that, I'm Tashera, and if you're new here, this channel is all about fragrances. Welcome or welcome back. Yeah, so 15 fragrances decluttered. So I've just been in sort of a mood, like I'm not inspired, I'm not falling in love with anything new, and I'm getting tired of some of the fragrances that are in my collection. I don't reach for them as much as I thought I would, and I just thought it was time to let some fragrances go. I want to buy those fragrances that I've been biting the bullet on purchasing because they're really expensive. I think I would appreciate those much more. There's some fragrances that have been on my wish list for like 3+ years that I still haven't gotten simply because of the price. So I figured, why not declutter the fragrances that I don't wear as much in order to purchase the fragrance that I want so bad. So I decided to do this declutter. I'm down from 140 to 125, and I like that number, but it will get back up over time. And I have to say, I have been really good. I haven't been purchasing too much. I have not been blind buying. So cheers to that. So let's get into this declutter. So the fragrances that I decluttered, I sold them on Mercari. That is where I sell all of my fragrances when I'm ready to let them go. And if you're interested in following me on Mercari, it's going to be linked in the description down below. So the first fragrance I decluttered was Casamorati Mefisto. This is a beautiful, fresh fragrance. It's perfectly unisex. It's marketed towards men, but I think it's great for women as well. If you enjoy Creed Silver Mountain Water, I think you will also enjoy this. They smell nearly identical. The only difference is Mefisto has a rose note, which kind of makes it more, I don't want to say it's feminine leaning because it's a unisex fragrance, but it makes the DNA a bit more feminine leaning, I should say. It's a beautiful fresh fragrance. It's long lasting, but after having it for 3 years, I've probably only given it about 5 full wears. So I just felt like it was time to let it go. I'm at the point now where it doesn't matter how much I like or think I love a fragrance. If I'm not wearing it, I just need to let it go. So that's my mind state now, and for that reason I had to let it go. The next fragrance I decluttered was Guerlain Shalimar L'Essence. A beautiful vanilla fragrance. I blind bought it. I fell in love with it. But after having it for what? It's been out for, I want to say, what, 6 months now? I don't think I gave it a full wear. I've only tested it here and there. It's just that vanilla is such a common fragrance note. I have so many other vanilla fragrances that I prefer more. And when I'm in a vanilla mood, I never grabbed for Shalimar L'Essence. So I just felt like I needed to just let it go, and that I did. The next one, Tubéreuse Astrale from Maison Crivelli. This fragrance was love at first sniff. And this one I kept a sample for reference, just in case I want to go back to revisit the scent. This is a beautiful, spicy, musky tuberose scent. And for me, tuberose is hit or miss. This one I fell in love with. I needed a bottle. I obsessed over it for at least a year, and then I finally purchased a bottle. But after having that fragrance for nearly a year now, I've only given it about 2 full wears. When I'm in the mood for a musky tuberose scent, I always reach for Blanche Bette. That is my go-to. And I think these 2 fragrances sit in the same fragrance family. While Tubéreuse Astrale leans more spicy and dry, Blanche Bette goes in a more gourmand, lactonic territory, and I just love that fragrance. I'm addicted to Blanche Bette. It's my favorite tuberose scent. So when I'm in the mood for tuberose, that is what I want to wear and smell like. It's beautiful. So I think these 2 fragrances, they're not identical, but they have similarities, and I prefer Blanche Bette, so I didn't need 2 fragrances. Were, you know, sort of similar. So I decided to declutter Tubéreuse Astrale because it wasn't getting enough love from me. And it's a beautiful fragrance, and I needed it to be in a home that it would be appreciated. So I let it go. This next one, Jusbox Carioca Heart. This one was so hyped about 2 summers ago. It kept selling out. I was able to get my hands on a bottle. I blind bought it. Love at first sniff. I got one of the most amazing compliments I've ever received wearing a fragrance. And in the 2 years I've owned the fragrance, I've probably only worn it about 4 times. So I needed to let it go. When I'm in the mood to wear something mango or something tropical, I never reach for that. If I'm in a tropical mood, I reach for fragrances like Sunset Hour or Miami Nectar from Ellis, Brooklyn. I would never reach for Carioca Heart. And I'm starting to learn that I don't like fragrances that are too strong. I like soft, ethereal fragrances. I like fragrances that are long lasting, but I don't like fragrances that are overpowering and can become overwhelming. And for me, Jusbox Carioca Heart is one of those fragrances that can just be very powerful and overwhelming and can go cloying. It happened to me the first time I wore the fragrance, and I want to say that is what may have turned me off from the fragrance. But I kept a sample of that one for reference as well, just in case I want to revisit it from time to time. This next fragrance is also very powerful, and it was a blind buy, love at first sniff, but I've moved on. And I kept a sample of this one for reference too because it is a beautiful fragrance. And this one is Giardini di Toscana Bianco Latte. This was like the first true gourmand fragrance I fell in love with. No, I would say that would be Blonde Amber from Clive Christian. But Bianco Latte is such a beautiful vanilla gourmand. And what I loved about this fragrance so much is that it's very sweet, but it still manages to be airy at the same time. But it's so dense and it's powerful, but still airy. I don't know how they were able to do that, but still, the fragrance, if oversprayed, can be very overwhelming and cloying. And this is one fragrance, a gourmand, that I think is wearable all seasons. It performs great in the winter because it's such a powerful fragrance, but because it still has that light, airy quality, it can still be worn in warmer weather if not oversprayed. But I recently discovered Narcotica Happy Dust, which for me sits in the same fragrance family as Bianco Latte, but I enjoy it more. It's lighter wearing. My only issue with that one is it doesn't last as long, but that fragrance makes me happy. So when it comes to the two, I do prefer Happy Dust, and I would like to add that one to my collection in the near future. So for that reason, I decluttered Bianco Latte, but I kept a hefty sample, 5 ml, which is more than enough because that fragrance is very powerful. So I'll be able to revisit it from time to time. The next fragrance I decluttered, Born to Stand Out, FUGAZZI. So this was another blind buy I bought about 3 months ago, and I fell in love with it. But after giving it at least 2 full wears, I decided, although I love the fragrance, it's not something that I enjoy smelling on myself. And that happens often. Something may smell good on a tester strip, might smell good sniffing it from my wrist, but spraying it all over my body and going out into the world and smelling my scent trail, when I don't enjoy that aroma in the air, it kind of turns me off from a fragrance. So this fragrance is very unique. It's musky, it's slightly woody, incensey, it's spicy, it's sort of a mix of Marc-Antoine Barrois Ganymede and Fugazi Angel Dust. Very unique. I do like it, but I already own Angel Dust. I prefer it. And I have a couple of samples of Ganymede that I haven't been able to go through because that fragrance is so powerful. So if I want to smell like that, I can just layer those two. I don't need that fragrance. So for that reason, I decluttered. 9 more fragrances to go through. So the next fragrance I decluttered is Casamorati Bouquet Ideale. This is a fragrance that I blind bought about 4 years ago. I hated it, so I returned it immediately. I revisited it about a year ago and I fell in love with the scent. So I ended up purchasing a full bottle. But after purchasing the full bottle, I realized that it smelled so familiar. And the fragrance that it reminded me of is Guerlain Oud Nude. So I did a side-by-side test and they smell nearly identical, except that Bouquet Ideale has vanilla, and I want to say it's heavy on the spice. The clove note in that fragrance is very powerful, but still these fragrances carry so much resemblance. I want to say they're at least 95% similar. So similar that I don't need both, and I prefer Guerlain Oud Nude. It's a beautiful powdery raspberry scent with almond and the most beautiful clean oud. It's one of the most beautiful oud scents on the market. I love that one so much, so I didn't need both. For that reason, I decluttered Bouquet Ideale. The next declutter. This is a fragrance I've raved about so much, but I haven't given it a full wear in over a year, so it was time to let it go. I've moved on. This one is Nishane Ani, a beautiful, spicy ginger vanilla fragrance. It's more masculine leaning, but it's loved by women as well, and I'm one of the women who loves that fragrance. The dry down of that vanilla is immaculate. Starts out very spicy. The ginger note is very heavy, so if you're not a fan of ginger, you probably did not like this scent. I know a lot of people hated it for that reason. I did too. When I first tested it, I couldn't get past the opening. But trust me, the magic is in the dry down. But I have so many other vanilla fragrances. And when I'm in the mood for vanilla, I never reach for Ani. So I just needed to let it go. And that I did. This next fragrance is another vanilla. I have so many vanilla fragrances, so I just had to narrow it down to the true loves, the ones I reach for the most. And this one was not one of the fragrances I reach for often, and it's Micallef Note Vanille Nectar, a beautiful, soft, powdery, boozy vanilla. It's amazing. I love it. It's so pretty, it's elegant, it's classy, it's all of the things, but I have so many other vanillas that I much prefer. I never reach for it, so I let it go. This next fragrance I received about a week ago, and as soon as I opened the fragrance, I knew I didn't want it. I put it back in the package, listed it on Mercari, and sold it. This was a Sniff Gentle Reminder. So this is supposed to be like ube and Palo Santo and like musk tonka something. Black tea, I believe it also has tea. I thought I would love it based on the notes. I didn't like it at all. There's nothing more for me to say about that one. I didn't need to spend time with it to know that it was something that wouldn't grow on me. I let it go. The next declutter is Clive Christian X for Women. I fell in love with this at first sniff, testing on a strip. And this was like early in my fragrance journey, like year 2, you know. I just wanted a Clive Christian fragrance, went to the counter, smelled a couple. I fell in love with X for Women and Blonde Amber. I took home X for Women because it was the cheaper of the two. But I didn't enjoy the wearing experience, and that was the difference. So it has a combination of peach and patchouli, and that combo for me can sometimes be tricky. It's a combination that I like, but I have to be in the mood for it, and I'm hardly ever in the mood for it. But when I am, I would reach for my decant of BDK Possessoir or Mugler Angel Toilette, which smells nearly identical to Possessoir Extrait, and Tom Ford Bitter Peach, which I love. And all of these fragrances sit in the same category for me. They're all fruit chulis, and I don't enjoy that DNA enough to keep all of these in my collection. The next declutter was Maison Matin Lost in Translation. Now, this is a very nice scent. It's fresh, spicy, it's green, it's slightly powdery. For me, it's masculine leaning. I would much prefer to smell it on a man. It was a blind buy based off of a YouTube review, and although I enjoyed it, I didn't like wearing it on myself. I think it's better for men, and so I had to let it go, and that I did. Next declutter, a blind buy, about 3 years old. Mancera Roses Greedy. Now, the notes were promising. And I'm going to read the notes for this one. I had to read the notes for this one because I'll tell you why. In the top notes, this has notes of peach, blackcurrant, mandarin orange, pink pepper, and coconuts. In the middle notes, rose, flowers, and jasmine. And in the base notes, white musk, sugar, vanilla, amber, and benzoin. This sounds like the most beautiful, fruity, musky, sweet, ambery fragrance. And all I got from this was an old-fashioned rose scent. All I got was rose and oil. I didn't get any fruits at all. No coconut, no blackcurrant, no mandarin, no nothing. All I got was rose. No sweetness. Like, where is the sugar? I don't know. It was just a very old-fashioned smelling rose type of scent. It just, no, I had to let it go. And that one was a hard sell too. It had been listed for at least 2 years. It finally sold it. Thank the Lord. This next declutter was a blind buy, and it's the House of Oud Bonbon Pop, which is another fruit chewy. It has notes of peach, patchouli, coconut. I believe it has vanilla. Also may have a brown sugar note. It's a pretty fragrance, but again, another peach patchouli scent. These two notes combined, it doesn't matter what else is combined with, those two notes are going to dominate the entire fragrance and give this fragrance the same base as so many other fragrances in that category. So this also reminded me of Bitter Peach and X for Women, and I don't need another fragrance in that category. So I never gave it a full wear in public. I only tested it at home about 2 or 3 times. I never fell in love with the scent after owning it for 2 years, so I let it go. And this last declutter, I absolutely love this, but I didn't wear it enough, so I had to let it go. And that one is Christian Louboutin Fétiche L'Ombre. This is a beautiful, green, sexy, sweet tuberose scent. Like, I don't know how they managed to make it green but slightly sweet at the same time. It's amazing. It has so much depth. It's resinous. It's very inviting, but I wasn't reaching for it. I did keep a decant for reference because I do enjoy the scent. But again, when I'm in the mood for tuberose, my go-to is always Blanche Bette. I still have other tuberose scents. Not too many. There's only one that's coming to mind right now. But when I'm in a tuberose mood, I just want to wear Blanche Bette. So everything else has to go. And Fétiche L'Ombre is such a sexy, like, date night scent. I think I've worn it to the office. It can be worn any time of day, actually. But I think it's a sexy scent. But when I'm going out, that wasn't one of the scents that I reach for. Although to me it's a beautiful, sexy scent, it's different. But I think it's one of the better options from the Fétiche line. But lately, I've been reaching for Fétiche La Rose, and I love that one. It's like beating Fétiche L'Ombre is my number one. It might be my number one right now. So yeah, for that reason, I decluttered that scent. So that concludes my major fragrance declutter, 15 fragrances. Yeah, I feel good about this declutter. I'm excited to bring in new fragrances that I will appreciate more. I want to be more intentional with my purchase this year, and that I have been doing. So I commend myself. Or have you been decluttering? If you've decluttered any fragrances recently, I would like to know. So leave a comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please hype it up while you're at it. And if you're new here and you enjoyed the content that you saw today, please do consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.